Okay, it looks like we are live. Groovy. All right. So, welcome. I'm sure, and most of you are aware, if any of you are here, that, not been around in a while. You know, life just kind of, life. What can I say? Anyway, I don't have any real plans. I just, I started checking out the new world update in the Caribbean. And, I thought, well, maybe I'll just take some people along with me and put it on Twitch. So this is going to be my third flight. We're currently in Bonaire. And, hey, Tim, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. So we're currently in Bonaire, off the coast of Venezuela in the southern Caribbean. And we're going to head over to El Gran Roque, which is in Venezuela. It's Spanish for something. It's a little touristy island. So, hey, appreciate it, Tim. Pal World, how did I get my background like that? I use a program called OBS Background Replacer. In fact, I think I still have the website up because it updated. I do, so let me drop that in the chat. So, and then I just put a background behind. It removes the background in the house here. You can see. I don't know. Oh no, that's actually off axis. Oop, my stupid microphone keeps falling down. There we go. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I used. Yeah, that's exactly. That's kind of the point. Although, what's behind me it's a screenshot from Microsoft Flight Sim, but it's not actually the airplane I'm using. So I'm cheating a little bit, but what can you do? So anyway, we are here at Bonaire. We are going to El Gran Roque, and then that should take about 45 minutes, depending on how fast we fly and how many times I miss the approach. We are today in the lovely and so accurate and interesting to fly A2A Simulations Commanche. It's a lot of fun to fly. I like to fly it without the tip tanks. My flights aren't so long that I need the extra gasoline, and I like getting the extra 10 knots at cruise. So, All right, so let's jump inside the aircraft. I am not going to do the walk around, because frankly, I don't think that makes for interesting content after, 7 or 8 times that you've seen it. And we've all seen it about 7 or 8 times, but I will call up the iPad. Let's see, I'm going to check the fuel. Yeah, let's go ahead and add fuel. And let's see, seats are full and seats are full. The dead-eyed passengers looking creepy as usual. So, 80 pounds of bags. We are still well within our CG limit. Cool. Let's see. Okay, we do have the... I never put the wheel chocks on when I tied her down. Well, that's all right. Oh, you know what? One thing I wanted... Because on my last flight, had some problems with the magnetos. So I'm gonna... In nice shape, turns nicely, and the points are showing little signs of wear. It has a lot of life in it. That's weird, because I was getting like a 200 RPM drop the last time I did a run-up. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, I think. Other than that, everything else looks good. Ooh, there's a new additive button. I wonder what that does. All right. Well, I'll tell you what we will do is let's clean the plugs. And... Okay. Everything else is in the green. Battery's topped off. Engine analyzer looks like an engine analyzer. All right. I got everything except the tip tanks on. Let's inspect because I did have a hard landing. And everything looks good. Cool. All right. Come on. There we go. Checklists. All right, pre-flight. So we are just going to get up in the air and we are going to fly to La Gran Roque. And you know what? I should probably have Navigraph on. Will it pop up? Oh yeah, look, there's Navigraph. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's all right, there we go. All right, so yeah, we're going from here to here. It's not a super long flight. All right. Select, add to route, and destination, El Gran Roque. All right. So yeah, 94 miles. So yeah, we're just going to jump up in the air. We're going to go about 110 degrees. El Gran Roque does have a, what you call it? A VOR. I think it has a VOR. If it doesn't, we can use La Orquila, but I think they have, yeah, they have a NavAid. So let's, all right, 113.1. So let's just put that in the back of our mind. All right, we can take Navigraph off. All right. Oh. And now my iPad is telling me, you're going to mean invalid email or password. No, I didn't forget my password. Why is this forcing the use of, yeah. Well, I guess this is Chrome. All right. Wonderful. Sorry, I know this makes for great content. I'm trying to sign into Navigraph on my iPad. And let's see if I can do it from Chrome proper. Charts dot Navigraph. Okay, cool. We're signed in on the website. Hey, Viper Strike, how are you? Looks like we are. I thought I saw we were in the same neck of the woods. I'm sitting here on the island of Bonaire. Okay, now it's just going to let me continue. What the hell? Oh, it's not using. Lord. All right. Sorry about this. I should have. I checked everything except the stupid iPad. And I'm not signed into charts on my iPad. It's going to take me a minute. And of course, I don't have my iPad slaved to OBS because, man, that is surprisingly hard to do. I mean, it's doable, but man, it's a real pain in the. Yeah. We'll try to stay family friendly. All right, sign into my Google so I can copy my password. Just for some reason, I can't use the. Huh, well, that's interesting. I wonder why it's arid and dry. All right, now Google is taking forever to sign into my password manager. You know what? We're gonna mess with it in the air. I'm gonna be like that guy. I saw a YouTube video today. Somebody posted a, hey, Crouchy, yep, it's a DC stream. The anyway, I saw on YouTube somebody posted and it was the damnedest thing. ATC audio of a guy trying to get into Martinsburg, West Virginia, and he kept the controller kept telling him to go to a certain fix, and the guy, kept not doing it. You couldn't really hear the pilot side of the conversation. It's very mountainous in West Virginia, so I'm sure that his radio was obscured by the mountains. But it was just strange because the controller kept telling him, go to this intersection. And the guy's like, oh, I can't find it in my iPad. Or I can't find it and my iPad's dead. And it's like, dude, are you trying to fly an IFR approach, an IFR RNAV approach with an iPad? That's kind of terrifying. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now, but only because I can't sign into Navigraph on my iPad. So, anyway, let's get back to the sim, shall we? All right. We're going to crack the throttle. Props full forward, mix full rich. And, we need the battery. And the fuel pump. Make sure we get fuel pressure. I think we're getting fuel pressure. All right, well, let's prime the engine and see what happens. Yeah, I don't think you could do that. I really don't. And if you can, I'm sure you have to be able to, get power from the airplane, to do it. Of course, I'm the kind of guy that I never go anywhere without power from my iPad, so, All right. Let's go ahead and turn track IR back on. I need to... Oh, you know what else I need to do? And I'm going to close track IR. Oh, I got to lock my chair. Because if I don't, the minute I try to use the rudders, I'm just going to go straight back. All right. There we go. All right. Let's get the beacon light on. And... Okay, let's get the fuel. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's what I did. That's why I didn't get any fuel pressure. Because I am not that bright. So let's go ahead and fuel pump. Is that going up? Yes, it is. All right, now. Try the primer plunger. Lock that. And lift off. Well, not quite lift off, but we have engine ignition. All right. Let's go ahead and get the masters on. All right. Alright, weather in Bonaire, 310 at 10 knots. Alright. So if it's 310, we're going to want runway 28. So here's an interesting question. I have to back taxi a 10,000 foot runway. I don't need nearly all that. I wonder, can I just create an intersection departure halfway down the runway? Probably not. All right, well, let's go ahead and parking brakes off. And of course, this thing's got me pointed away from the runway. Get out of the way, dude, get out of the way! Taxi, nav, and strobes on. All right, so we are leaving Bonaire, and we're going to go to El Gran Roque. All right, runway looks clear. Runway looks clear. Ooh. That looks like a heck of a crosswind. Oh well, we'll be fine. You know, ailerons into wind, problem solved. Oh, it must be coming through the headphones, because I'm wondering if you guys are getting sim audio, because audio input capture is not working. But headphones is, so it must be listening to my headphones. Slow down, slow down. Alright, go ahead and get one notch of flaps in. Oops, I didn't put my route into Fly Live. That's right. Not sure if this is a bumpy runway or just the landing gear is being weird. Alright. Should have enough runway now. I don't know. Alright. Let's go ahead and do our run-up checks. Position into wind, check. Brakes hold, that's checked. Fuel quantity is checked. Mixture as required, full rich. Throttle, 2,000 RPM. Alright, there's 2,000 RPM. Engine instruments. All in the green. Alright, magnetos. Alright. Left mag. We lost 80. Okay, that's fine. That's within spec. Go back. Right mag. And we lost 80. And that's within 50 of each other, so we're good. Alright, so let's go back to both mags, or back to 2,000 RPM. Alright. Prop. Cycle it 3 times, so... Then reduce to 1,800 and check that it is steady. Alright, good. And carb heat is good. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go ahead and put the iPad away. Give it a little more throttle. I don't like the way it's idling. And then keep the brakes on though. Set my heading bug. And firewall. Alright, a lot of P factor. Hard to keep it into the on the center line. 80 knots. Lift off. All right, we got a positive rate. Not gonna go gear up just yet because we got lots of runway. We might as well use it. All right. All right, now we're out of runway, so let's go ahead and go gear up. And flaps up. All right. Let's get the throttle back. And we're going to go ahead and make a right turn and depart the pattern. Meeting over, done for the day. That's fantastic. Oops. Hey, JM, how are you, my friend? How were the kiddos' first day of school? Alright, are we... Yeah, we're close enough to outside the pattern. And we're about 500 feet above it, so we can go ahead and turn back around. Yeah, I don't know how back I'm gonna be as far as streaming goes, but you know, I am gonna, if the mood takes me, I'm gonna, you know, definitely gonna finish my tour of the Caribbean World update. So we are now leaving the island of Bonaire. Oh, there's a soccer stadium down there, which I guess makes sense. Ooh, promotion of my channel. Followers, views, chatbots. Man, that is awesome. And we are... Oh, no, it's not the right one. And... Reports. Spam. Spam. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm in the middle of a stream here, you dickheads. I'll just... Yeah, the hell with it. I'll just ban him. Whoa! See, and this is why I believe that they were... This is why you can't do multiple things at... Jesus. You can't do multiple things at once. Alright. So we're back on... Oh, I did a full 360, didn't I? No, it's okay. Alright, my D-track is 109er, so let's go ahead and turn to 109. We're going to level off here at about 3,000 feet. And really, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to put heading mode on. And then when I get there, I'm going to engage the... Whatchamacallit mode. Yeah, pretty much. Well, it'd be the Venezuelan version of the NTSB, but yeah, you're not wrong. Let's see. Oh, okay. What does it want? It wants me to pitch down. Whee! And we're actually going to pull the power back to, or pull the RPM back to 2,000. And then bring the power back. And lean it out to like 12. There we go. Let's see, what is that? Oh. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, we are on our way. I'm going to give me about 5 degrees right, just to better intercept the, well, actually a few more than that, just so I can better intercept the course. And it wants down trim again. So I don't know about anybody else, but I have never been able to get this engine monitor to do what I think it's supposed to do. So typically what I do is boop and a cheat. And I still am not entirely sure how to okay. Yeah, see, it won't show me EGT. Although I get individual EGTs here, but man, it's really hard to trim or to it's easier to excuse me. It's easier to use this gauge, but that one doesn't actually seem to do anything. And I'm holding on the wrong. Yeah, see, the EGT on the monitor goes way down, but the... Well, I guess it does... Okay, well... I don't know. It feels like... And maybe that's not correct, but it feels like the EGT gauge on other sim planes is more responsive. Like I said, maybe that's inaccurate. Now, if the EDM could show me a trend line, that would be super helpful. Instead of just kind of like, is it still going up? Is it still going up? See? And now I'm too low. And I shouldn't be able to lean it all the way back to where it's missing. And not have, you know, and still have the temperature going up. So I don't know what's going on there. All right. Let me bring the headphone volume down a little bit because we're going to step out of the cockpit and it's going to get way louder. Nope. All right. So there is Bonaire. Well, you know what? I think we could do a little bit more. There we go. Forward to La Grande Roque. So how's everybody else doing out there? Wondrous? That's good. Well, you're off for the day, so that's always a good thing, right? Yeah, she's a real nice plane. It's a PA-24 Piper Commanche 250, and with full tanks at 55% cruise, it'll go for like 6 hours, I think. And depending on winds, that's like 140 knots. So 140 miles times 6 hours. is, I don't know, 600, 240, 840 roughly miles, nautical miles. Yeah, of course, that assumes, you know, a lot of... That assumes everything goes right. You know, and here's the thing, is you can't actually... With 4 adults, and we have... Nope, that's the wrong button. Okay, well, we're gonna have to do it we'll do it this way then. With 4 adults in the airplane, like we have here, and 80 pounds of bags, our max takeoff weight is not going to allow for full fuel. So... Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. But again, that assumes no wind, and I didn't bring anybody with me, and, you know. Because there's only, you know, you can fit 60 gallons, and that's, what, 60 times 8 is 6 times 8? 480 pounds of gas, so that leaves you with only, you know, less than 500 pounds of payload capacity, and of course, you know, I'm fat, so... But it's not, I mean, it's not a bad little airplane, and, I mean, it just screams on... What are we doing right now? 11 gallons per hour. Yeah, packed lighter. So... Yeah, it's not a bad little airplane. Now this particular example has a kind of a... Oh yeah, it's definitely fun. It's got kind of a weird autopilot, which I think is one of the reasons I like this particular piece of software. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I guess I wasn't that far off. I forgot to set my barometer, or my altimeter. It's got kind of a idiosyncratic autopilot when the display control is built into the turn coordinator, which is kind of cool, but, you know, it's different, which I kind of like. Let's see. You'd be surprised. It's pretty easy through a flight school to find access to an airplane. It's expensive. Yeah, but you're an engine nerd. You can handle it. That, and, I mean, didn't you say your wife makes more money than you? So. Oh, yeah, no, okay, that makes perfect sense. I mean, you might have to go up to Charlotte, but you won't have any problems. You know, don't expect to... Yeah, that makes sense. Hourly plus rental, or hourly plus a daily fee, sure, because they don't have access to the airplane. You know, you've got their airplane. So I can understand that, and that seems pretty standard to me. Now, if you're really into it, and you really want to keep, like, you know, keep on it, fractional ownership is a good way that people start with owning their own airplanes. You know, you buy a piece of an airplane. Yeah, exactly, fractional ownership. So, of course, the other side of that, it's like owning a condo. Actually, it's more like owning a timeshare. You know, if you run into serious good. If you run into serious problems with, you know, at your annual check, and it's got, you know, you got to overhaul the engine and you haven't budgeted for it, you know, all the members of the ownership group are going to have to cough up the money, and it costs about 30 grand to overhaul the piston engine. Yeah, definitely. Now, unfortunately, Barnstormer's Diner at OSU Airport closed. So you can't, I mean, I guess you can still get free parking if you buy fuel, but it used to be if you bought a meal at Barnstormers, they'd waive the ramp fees for you at OSU Airport. Of course, you'd probably go into like Bowling Green or something, you know? It's one nice thing about Ohio is we have airports everywhere. There's at least one in all 88 counties. So, you know, that's potentially a plus. Alright, check my fuel. Fuel's good. Still burning at 10.7. Holding altitude steady. We're a little bit left, of course, but that's okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we're still like 70 miles from our destination. Huh, that's interesting, Ted, because I would have thought that the organization would have charged a moderate hourly fee, because a lot of the maintenance requirements are based on hours, engine hours, and so I would have thought, you know, especially for the fixed costs, you have to get, and inspect, you have to change the oil every 50 hours, you have to do this, that, or the other thing. So there is a really good YouTube channel. Yeah, that would make sense. There's a really good YouTube channel called Complete Walkaround, where he does basically complete walkarounds of the costs of owning owning various airplanes. So, and you're also going to want. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, so the thing about straight rental airplanes where you don't have an ownership interest, it's like, it's the tragedy of the commons. There's a flight sim joke that goes around, and it's probably a real joke too, I don't know. But there's a joke that we, in the flight sim community, especially when new pilots do this, is they just, they run around with the prop full and mix full, and at max power, it's just the engine's just screaming and screaming and screaming, and of course, as aerodynamic efficiency goes by I think it goes by the fourth root of velocity. You add drag, so the more speed you get, the much more power you have to put in to overcome the drag, and so when people fly around like that with making max power, you're just tearing up the engine for no real gain. But if it's a rental, what the hell? What do you care? So we call that rental power. This is a rental. You don't have to worry about, engine overhaul and everything else. But of course, the rental company does. So. Exactly. Like that scene in Days of Thunder where Tom Cruise and I don't remember who the other actor was. They're supposed to go to a restaurant together, and then they end up renting a car and basically demolish them on the way to the restaurant because they're, rubbin's racing, baby. Somebody on Discord's talking about Butcher Box. Well, and you know what? That too, Coder. It's a sim. You're not going to hurt anything. And I think one of the really great things about, this sim is that, any sim really, is that you can be as realistic or as not as you want. You want to fly around like it's an arcade plane? Cool. Absolutely do that. Turn off all the failures and just, bang your airplane around. Or if you want to go, full detail and every little thing, you get yourself a PMDG 737 or, something like this, and you can get in and mess with every single detail. You know, one of the things I really like about this particular airplane is this view here, where it shows you what the engine's doing, and it's actually like modeling this. It's not doing a full, you know, like CFD for the, you know, the air fuel mixture in each cylinder, but it is trying to, you know, it is trying to simulate based on, you know, atmospheric conditions, temperature, you know, everything else, what the engine would be doing in real life. So, and you could blow a jug if you're not careful. So, oh, you know what? I never noticed this before. Of course, this is a real thing, and it's really subtle. Okay, clicking on it didn't do anything, but you can see that the cylinder heads, this temperature is cooler than these temperatures back here, which is exactly what it would be, you know, in real life. Well, luckily, doing the virtual maintenance is as easy as clicking the overhaul all button, which is not a thing you can really do in real life, but, you know. And I have actually, on a flight over water, almost made the airport, but I was slamming my prop control around, and I really shouldn't have been. You know, I should have been using it nice and smooth, but I didn't because, you know, whatever. But that would be cool. Well, I tell you what, when we get on the ground, if you stick around that far, you know, I'll show you, there is a walk-around feature, and you could go in and you could, you know, sump the tanks and look at the oil and do some other, you know, stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But what I was gonna say is, so I was flying this airplane, and I was slamming the prop control around, and I broke the crankshaft, and of course the engine locked up because I broke the crankshaft. So all of a sudden I have no engine, and it was completely my fault. You know, what am I gonna do? So, all right. One of the things I wanted to do, check my nav graph here, 113.1. I'm going to set the frequency for the navigation beacon on Roque. 113.1. And swap it in. Shouldn't have done that. Oh well, that's right. Alright, so it's showing I'm 52.6 miles away, and GPS is showing me 52.5 from the airport. So that's good. Let's go ahead and, for something this simple, I really can, you know, do this in my head, but I'm not going to. Calculate our VNAV profile. SVRS, enter. All right. So we begin our descent in 15 minutes. Which, again, I mean, you can figure that out. There's what's called the rule of threes, and my watch is telling me to get up and move around. Little does it realize I'm going 150 knots. But there's something called the rule of threes, where you can basically divide your speed by 3, and that tells you how many miles you're going each minute. And so then you calculate your descent rate based on how far down you need to go. In this case, I need to go down 2,500 feet to hit pattern altitude, and I'm doing 150, so that's 6 miles a minute. Wait, no, 5 miles a minute. So at 500 feet per minute, it's going to take me 5 minutes to drop my altitude, so I need to start about 5 minutes before I get to where I need to be at pattern altitude. Which, and looking at our estimated time en route, 21 minutes, and our VNAV profile saying begin in 12 minutes, yeah, I'm about right. It's also using 400 feet for the VNAV profile. So, course, a lot of people don't work this out in their heads, and why should they? I mean, computer support exists. You know, it's a thing. So, but anywho, all right. I guess I shouldn't be surprised of getting, you know, high 40s in the frame rate, just because, you know, there's not a lot to look out over the ocean. When things get closer together, we should be able to, you know, see better, but for the moment. Oh, you can see South America off in the distance. That's cool. Right, we're going to screen cap that, because it looks cool. Jump back in the airplane, and then what was I... Something else I was going to do. Must not have been that important. Alright, so we're about 20 minutes out. I don't think El Gran Roque has been, had anything done to it by the simulator, but, you know. Oh, you know what? I can turn the, fuel pump off. Save some battery power. Oh man, 80 degrees up in here. Well, let's see if we can't. Turn on our vents a little bit. Fresh air. As it is. Yeah, it's only about 75 degrees outside the airplane, so bringing some fresh air ought to help. Although it would appear not really. And so now we've entered what I like to call the long, dark tea time of the soul. You know, Douglas Adams, of course, came up with that. He described that as, or that's how he described Sunday afternoons, when you've taken all the baths you can reasonably take for one day, and you've completely read the paper, even the style section. You know, who reads the style section? No zombies. I mean, they do, you know, have that creepy, dead-eyed look to them, but, no zombies. people are talking about hot dogs in Discord. Now I'm kind of getting hungry. Which I hadn't really decided what I wanted for supper tonight, although I was going to do either macaroni and cheese or spaghetti. Macaroni and cheese is just a nuke meal. Yeah, you and your glizzies. I wonder if the Hungarian butcher takes or makes hot dogs. I don't think they do, but they do have other kinds of sausage. Oh, yeah, the sausages from Hungarian butchers, they're really good. No, I don't want to contact them. Yeah, no doubt. Of course, if you're in Toledo, you could just go to Tony Paco's, right? I mean, Sergeant Klinger couldn't be wrong. They must be wonderful. You know, JM, when I was in Australia, this was in 2008, and you know, it was my understanding that oh yeah, no, that's definitely Tim. That's nice of him, but yeah. So anyway, I was in Australia, and I had asked the ship's morale officer. You know, they were asking for you know, like a slight course adjustment. You know what we wanted to do while we were in Australia, and I asked, you know, is there any way you could set up kangaroo hunting? Because you know, it's my understanding that they're basically like deer over there. So. You know, and the morale officer, Mr. Floyd, was like, "What? No, you can't shoot kangaroos." And I'm like, "Why the hell not?" So, and then I asked somebody, you know, I asked an Australian person, it's like, "Do you guys like, you know, eat kangaroo at all?" He's like, "Oh yeah." Oh, well, okay then. Oh, what's a no-no? Shooting the kangaroo? Oh, I thought they were, you know, overgrown, jumpy rats. But you can't get, like, you know, Roo burgers. Okay, so it can be commercially farmed, but you can't hunt them in the wild. Got it. Buffalo's like that here. Well, so at least here in Ohio where I live, we have far too many deer, and there are no anymore there aren't any, you know, natural predators, because we ran off all the bears and coyotes that would have, you know, eaten the deer. It's gotten to the point where some cities in Ohio actually use hunters, like, in the city. Not like you know, we're not doing like urban warfare here, but like if they have a large park or wilderness area within the city bounds, they will actually cull the herd, sometimes with rifles. So, of course, deer cause an absolutely absurd number of traffic accidents over here. I don't know if the Kangaroo are smart enough to stay away from the highways. I would suspect not. All right. 10 minutes. Okay, we gotta begin our descent in about 3 minutes. So the way we're going to do our descent here is, obviously, we can't do a power-off descent. Well, I guess we could once. Not like an airliner where we have, you know, where it makes sense to do a power-off descent. But we are going to bring the power way back and then pitch down for 500 feet per minute. So, let's see. We should be able to see the island. It's still 20 miles out there, but yeah, I think it's out there somewhere. There's land anyway, so you know we're probably not going to go full Amelia Earhart. Speaking of Amelia Earhart, anybody listening out there have any opinions on whether or not they actually found her airplane? Or all I saw was what looked like a grainy, fuzzy side scan sonar image of a airplane shaped object. You know, I mean, it's got to be down there somewhere, one would think. Think they didn't? Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's a big ocean. The law of large numbers kind of tells us that it ain't going to happen. I'm going to start bringing the power back so that we can slow down. I'm going to let the autopilot keep our... Yeah, no, I agree. Until somebody sends a camera down and actually looks at, you know, a Lockheed Electra, I'm not going to... All right, 18 miles to go. Just about time to start our descent. I am slowly backing off the power and adjusting the trims so that the autopilot can maintain our altitude. Now, this is not a very good altitude. I can't set a V-speed or a IAS flight level change. In fact, I don't even like to use the nav tracking on this because I don't think it works very well. I'm probably just doing it wrong, but I don't think I am. Another one of the reasons I slowed down is last couple of descents, I've really let my airspeed get out of hand, and that kind of sort of causes problems on approach. So I'm just going to be proactive and get it down to close to my flap speed. All right, descend to target. We're going to disable our altitude hold and start pitching the nose down. Still at like 120 or 130 knots. Flap speed on this bad boy is, well, you know what, let's just go ahead and review those. All right. So, oh, here we go. Okay. Flap speed is 125. Approach is 100. And final is 85 to 90. Stall speed in our landing configuration is 64, and best glide is 105 in case we lose an engine. So, cool. Then a few more notches downward. And take some more power back. Alright. Airport should be dead nuts in front of us. I think that's it there. Are we cruising back up again? We are. Alright, let's lose some more power. Not quite that much. Give it a few clicks of nose up. You know what? While I'm thinking about it, I want to check hardware mon, or GPU Z rather. CPU temperature is 68.3 Celsius. Well, that's not bad. Oh, you know what else I wanted to... What the hell is that? Oh, replay tool, that's new. Oh, dev mode on. All right, apply and save, go back, resume, and didn't like that. Ah, shit. Alright, oh wow, so we are... Alright, what's going on? What did I do? Alright. Huh, we are still limited by main thread. That's interesting. Because I'm running a dang 5800 X3D. Yeah, pretty much. Boy, I'm actually really kind of disappointed that my main thread is the problem. Well, it looks like it's a combination of main thread and GPU, Direct3D. Oh, alright, I'm gonna... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay, looks like we got a... Wow, I didn't think the mountain was going to be quite that big. That's interesting. Alright, let me... Alright, so the airport has 2 runways. No METAR available for Gran Roque. 2 runways, runway 7 and runway 25. Well, what we're going to do is overfly it, but I think we're going to land runway 7 because it doesn't feel like we have a lot of wind. I'm not... The autopilot's not crabbing a great deal. I think what we'll probably do is may start to, you know what, I may have us level off here. No, we'll keep going down, it's fine. Ferro Holandés, Los Roques. I don't know what Faro means, but I think Hollandaise refers to Holland. Of course, you know, the islands behind us, the ABCs, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao are all, you know, Dutch. So it may have something to do with it. I don't know. All right. Okay, there is the runway. So you know what? We are going to enter a right downwind for the opposite runway. I'm guessing that's 25, considering we're going 100 at the moment. Well, 110-ish. Alright. Why? Okay, disconnect. Yes, I know you're disconnecting. Actually, at 1,000 feet. Ooh, they got a big old solar array. Oh, I should put my what you call it on. All right, let's get some speed down. Oh, you know what? I bet Faro is lighthouse. All right, so we're gonna turn to, what did I say? 70, 60? I don't remember. I think it's runway 7. Pops full forward. First notch of flaps. First notch of flaps. And we're... Ah, what are you doing? Alright, it's back there somewhere. Come on. Yeah, pretty much, Speed Nut. How are you doing, my friend? Has anybody heard from Scooter? Did the procedure go as planned? I've not... I see I have messages in Discord, in that particular Discord, but I don't... I haven't had a chance to look at them. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. If we're 3 miles, that's probably enough. I could start my what you call it. I can make my base turn. So we're gonna make a right base. Runway 23. And we're going to overshoot it, because of course we are. Another notch of flaps in, and put the gear down. We need to start burning off speed. We need to be at 100 miles an hour. Okay, I have lost track of the airfield in the sun. Oh, no, I think I see it. I think I see it. Yep, there it is. Use some sunglasses. Alright, so we got gear. Oop. We need to put some more speed on. We should be at 100 for the approach. Alright. Let's go ahead and... I thought we overshot, but no, we undershot it. Did dump some altitude here. Alright, yep, we're going around. I'm gonna stay at this altitude, but Okay, I have done... There we go. Weird things to my track IR. I think... Got it mostly fixed. No. Alright, let's try this again. I'm gonna make a left crosswind. And I let myself get way high. Let's not do that. Alright. 256 is the heading we want. Nope, other way. So one of the things I like to do, and I'm sure this is good practice, I know I didn't come up with it, is put the heading bug on the runway course. And so that way, as I'm going around the pattern, I know that I could put the bug here for the downwind, and then either there or there on the base, depending on as soon as I'm a beam the end of the runway, well, shit. I think that's it. So let's go back. Get another notch of flaps in. Trim the nose down. Might be a little too much. I've been a little on the early side. Yeah, exactly, Coder. Like I said, I didn't come up with it, and I'm not the only one that does it. I just, happened to mention for anybody that was watching who didn't realize what I was doing with the green triangle. We need to burn some speed. Let's go third notch of flaps, get her down to 100. And I overshot the base a little bit, but that's alright. I'll pick it up on the... I'm thinking Faro means lighthouse. Don't quote me on that, though. You're down. And locked. Still having trouble seeing the airport. We're going to turn final. Because I know it's... Did I overshoot it? God damn it. There it is. Well, now I'm low and slow enough that I can make it down. Let's actually roll out of that turn and... Alright, a little fast on the approach. Alright, well, thank you for flying Island Air. If you're at all hungry for lunch, I'm sure there's a restaurant on this island somewhere. Hey, boss, get out of my way. Brakes. And fuel cutoff. Clean up the flaps. Alright. And we're done. So that definitely wasn't my best landing ever. By any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, we got the job done. Alright. Let me go ahead and finish zipping up the airplane. Tie downs, chocks. What the hell? Apparently we're connected to chat. That was interesting. Alright. Oh, you know what we want. Alright. Well, didn't break anything. So that's good. And then I did want to show Tim, if you're still around. It's easier to do this without what you call it, but basically you can dip your tanks, make sure there's, you know, not any water in them. And you can also check the oil. And that is... So the only thing, and then this is a bit of a bug, is you got to be on axis. If you move, can you see where the oil's, you know... Oh, anyway. Oil's nice and clean. So yeah. All right. Oh, it will close that. Okay, good. All right, so anyway, there we are. Here in El Gran Roque. So you can hike up to the Hollandish lighthouse. This is actually a... use your words. Oh, a national park. So there's actually quite a bit of tourism out here. Although I don't think a lot of people come in on a Piper Cherokee quite that violently. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, with that said, I am going to Yep, I am going to go ahead and say my goodbyes. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming on anything approaching a regular basis. As I said at the top, I'm sure some of you missed it. I've just been flying by myself, and I thought, well, I'm doing this tour of the Caribbean. Why not take people along? I'm not going to have anything real specific planned. I'm just going to get in and go, and if I stream it, I stream it. If I don't, well, that's fine too. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to sign off because we are just about at an hour and 20 minutes, which is actually longer than I had planned to be. So, anyway, thank you all for sticking around and watching me, almost crash the airplane. I do appreciate it. And stay safe. Have a nice night.